All right, so I'm going kind of stir crazy in my house. I get requests from time to time for makeup collection videos. And so I figured that since I'm not really feeling the reactions right now, that I would try doing some different stuff. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I really don't know how to start this. I'm going to try and do B-roll swatches of things so that you guys can see the colors, because that's what I really like in videos. I like organization and collection videos a lot, but I also really appreciate it when you get to actually see, like, at least the colors, you know, of what people have. Because I mean, it's cool to see like a pretty desk and stuff, but I also like, oh, what's in them drawers? You know, like, what are those colors? What do you wear? Because that's what I really, really want to know. I'm just going to start. I'm just going to start saying stuff. Okay. All right. So I have my makeup set up into two different organizational things. What is this word that I'm looking for? Units? Basically, I'm pretty sure that it's illegal to keep your makeup in anything that isn't from IKEA. And so I've got this thing from IKEA, and then I have this thing from IKEA, which is very heavy. And this fits in an Alex unit, which I have. And that is, I think, the only legal way that you can store this much makeup is in an Alex unit. So I'm going to start with this. And the reason that I have it split up into two things is because my makeup collection is pretty big. In this basket here, this is my like monthly seasonal makeup basket. And I switch things out here and there, but it's usually what I've been doing anyway is trying to come up with stuff that I think would look nice with my hair color, you know, because I switch my hair color up a lot. So that's what's in here. I have picked up a couple of palettes since starting YouTube. I kind of justified it by like, oh, well, I want to do my makeup so people have something cool to look at, so I'll buy a couple extra palettes. Bully. So these two palettes are actually relatively new to me. This one I got with a Christmas gift card. I usually do not buy stuff that is as expensive as this. This is the Mercury Retrograde palette by Huda Beauty. And let's see if you can see the colors in this. It's really, really beautiful, and it's really nice with purple hair. The shimmery shades, you'll see that the pan, there's some hard pan developing, because the only way that I can put them on and have them come on opaque is to put them on with my finger. So the hard pan kind of messes with the formula because you get the oil from your finger in the pan, and it ends up looking kind of weird, and sometimes you have to kind of scrape off the top to get it to perform better. But the formula for the metallic shades it's very sparkly, and if I use a brush, I just get like a wash of glitter, and it tends to look muddy and strange on me. It may look different on deeper skin tones. It may actually look better. I noticed that a lot of colors that tend to look muddy on me tend to look a lot nicer on deeper skin tones. So that could be the case. I like all of the mattes a lot. This one is really nice. It's really hard for me to find matte pastel colors that come off nice and are blendable. I really like this palette. So would I repurchase this one though? You know, for the performance that I get, I think I might go cheaper next time. I might find like the shades that I really love in here if I ever hit pan on any of them. I hope I do. But I might find the shades that I really love in here and just buy dupes, because there's a couple. I do not like this Supermoon color. I like a Mercury, but the fallout is a B. And I just don't wear it that often because these types of colors tend to age me quite a bit, especially if there's fallout. This color Nebula is beautiful, and I really enjoy the mattes. They're very interesting colors. So I think next time I would probably just look for singles of the like standouts in the palette rather than buying an entire palette. This one was kind of a impulse purchase for me. I had gone in looking for the neon green palette from Huda, and this was on display, and I fell in love with it like just in the moment, and I bought it. And I have a policy not to return things, especially if I impulse buy them, because I'm trying not to be wasteful. I try to use it if I bought it. Yeah, I mean, it's a very nice palette, but is it going to be something that I rebuy over and over? Probably not. I would probably just pick out singles that I like from that one. The next palette that I have in here is the Nude Mood palette from ColourPop, which is Exactly what it says. It's nudes. And these ones are very glittery. The formula feels really fatty, and I like all the colors. I didn't have like a basic nude palette, and this I think was like $12, and I really enjoy it. I don't think it's like the ultimate nude palette or anything, but it's really nice for everyday makeup, because these two colors here, which are my favorites, are very, very glam. They're very shiny. The next tier in my makeup IKEA thing, this thing comes with like 3 tiers to it, and it also has a mirror on the top, which I use often. So the next tier is kind of weird because trying to make things fit. I use this e.l.f. blending sponge for my foundation. I've never seen a difference with any different blending sponges, but I do like the finish better with sponges, because there's just something about my face that if you buff or swipe, things get weird. Things start getting cakey. I mean, you mix to make a cake. You know what I mean? You mix cake batter. Whereas this, you just pat and it doesn't disturb anything. It clearly stains. I mean, I did use it today, so it doesn't look that bad all the time. It's a pretty nice color in the sense that like it's kind of hides that makeup stain that usually happens to sponges. So the next thing I have is this Pacifica concealer. I've had this for like a year. It's probably, it's getting very close. This says 12 months, so it might be on its way out very soon. I don't think it's been exactly a year, but it's getting close. It creases very easily. You have to set this, but it's nice and creamy feeling. I like it. The biggest downfall with any Pacifica face product is that there's like 2 shades. Chances are most people probably gonna have a difficult time finding a match. I have very generic skin tones, so I'm very lucky when it comes to stuff like that. I use these pencils from ColourPop. They are extremely hard, and it is very difficult to get any sort of color payoff with them, which is actually good for me because I tend to fuck up quite a bit when I'm doing my brows, and so it kind of gives me a little bit more leeway. The last one that I had, this part broke off within like 2 uses, which was very annoying, but I prefer this hard formula because it doesn't move around a ton once it's actually on there, which is nice. This was sold out at Ulta for a really long time, or my local Ulta. So I bought one from e.l.f. and the e.l.f. one I do not like. It is too emollient or creamy, and it just looks greasy. It reflects a little bit, and it doesn't stay as well. I tend to have to use it with a powder. Like I put a powder on top to kind of try and set it so it's not so shiny. When I was reading about pencil technology, I guess, the interesting thing is when you have stuff that twists up like this, and this may be a no-brainer to most people, but it was interesting to me, is that the formula for this has to be hard enough that it can twist up and down and not break or get stuck in the tube. So that's, I think, why this is so hard, and it's very difficult to get color payoff because it has to be hard enough to go up and down, and to stay at a fine, small little point. Because it is supported by the pencil, the formula is extremely creamy, extremely soft. The color payoff is like, boom. It's just an interesting tidbit. If you're looking for something that's very soft and creamy, go for something that is in a pencil where the product is supported by the pencil. And if you want something that is harder with a more naturally defined shape like this, because these things, the formula is creamy, it wears down, it gets dull. This tends to stay tiny the entire time that I use it, which is why I like it. And I have this brow gel from Essence. I don't notice a huge difference with the various brow gels. I've done the Benefit one, I've done Essence, I have done ColourPop. I think I prefer the ColourPop one just because there's more variety in colors. This one's very wet and it tends to clump a little bit more than the ColourPop one did. But this one is insanely cheap and I have no problem using it. I like it. I don't have a lot of brow hairs, so I don't really have to worry about things staying in place. So I couldn't really give you any advice on whether or not it's good or bad at that because I don't have a hard time with that. Because my eyelashes suck so much, I've never found a mascara that has been like, wow. I've tried Lancome, I've tried Milk, I've tried other little samples that I've had in like Ipsy bags and stuff, And I just have this one from NYX right now called Worth the Hype, and it makes my eyelashes black. And this is the waterproof one, so it doesn't smear too much. Although I can't put it on my lower waterline because then I still get that weird gray haze underneath. I thought waterproof stuff was not supposed to smear, but I do use a face oil, so perhaps that's what's messing it up. I don't know. The eyeliner that I have right now is one that I hate. It is by Tarte, and it is the double line, or it's the double one. This side is a pencil, but again, like I said earlier, because this is not supported by a pencil, this is hard and it drags on my eyes and I don't like it. I do like the felt tip for this one, but the formula is really shiny and I don't like that. I took a chance on this one, on a more expensive one, and I don't like it. I use it here and there, but it kind of sucks. All right, so the lip balm that I use right now is from Pixi, and it has this really bizarre applicator on the top, which is like spiked, and I guess it's to scrub. Doesn't do that very much. It just tends to get clumped up with product and weird, and you have to clean it every time. I'm not going to repurchase this one. It smells like oranges, which is nice, but it's annoying. So once this is gone, it's gone. I also have this lip scrub from Sephora, which I use when I remember that it exists, but it's not something I use every single day. All right, so the brushes that I use are like 90% e.l.f. Let's just do the eye ones right now. Okay, so I have the, oh my god, why is there cat hair and everything? I have the e.l.f. Fluffy, this is the Fluffy Eye Blender by e.l.f. The Crease Brush by e.l.f. The Blending Brush by e.l.f. And this just says eyeshadow brush. I got this in like a $5 kit like years ago. And I also have these two from Real Techniques. I used to have more Real Techniques brushes. I just hate the way that they look so much, but these ones are so good that I keep them. And this is the base shadow brush that is shaped kind of like a MAC 217. And then there's this accent brush, which is gross right now because I put on my lipstick today with it, but I use it to put on my lipstick because my lips are really uneven naturally and I just like to fill them out. And it is fluffy enough that it's a soft line. I do not like a hard line with lipstick. I use this for my brows. It is the e.l.f. no name brush with a spoolie and an angle. And I use this brush. This is the pencil brush by It Cosmetics, the one from Ulta. And I like it. It's the only pencil brush that I have. So I have 3 face brushes that I use pretty frequently. It is the e.l.f. blush brush, and this one, I washed it earlier today, so you can't really tell, but it's the one that's got more of like a Hakuhodo shape, where it's like pointy. I don't think they make this anymore. And then I have the other e.l.f. blush brush that is much more like a rounded top, and the highlighting brush from e.l.f., which is more, I don't know the word, like tear shaped. Yeah, I use this one with the point to set things because it can get into places with the point. I tend to use the blush one for blush, and then I use this one that's more rounded for highlight. When it comes to setting stuff though, I will either reuse the highlight brush for a little glow. Not necessarily setting things to make them more matte. I'm setting them because I just don't want things to crease, but I don't mind a little shine, so I will often repurpose the highlight brush with the setting powder. And that is the top tier. 21 minutes later. I will edit a lot of this so that you don't have to sit through me rambling, but I could clearly talk about makeup forever. All right, so the next little tier is where I shove the lip products. And I like really cheap makeup. All right, so the lip products. Wet n Wild's 99% Chance of Wine. This one I really enjoy. It's easier to close than most Wet n Wild lipsticks. For example, I have one of the classics, Bare It All, but as you can see, the container is disgusting because it is very difficult. The product sticks out way over the tube, so it's very easy to touch it. But I do like Bare It All. It's what I'm wearing right now. I have this NYX lip liner in Free Spirit. It's the Cali color. I really like peachy brown colors. They make my teeth look like corn, but I love them so much that I will put up with my corn teeth. The next color, I get asked about this one all the time. It is Spiked by, it's the Sephora collection in little tubes. It is this really interesting purple, mauve. I'm very self-conscious about that word. I'm not particularly sure how to say it, but it's really nice. I also used a lot of the Liquid Cat Suits by Wet n Wild. This one is Berry Recognize. I got this Lime Crime color in the color Faded. I had no idea what this was. I saw it at TJ Maxx. The box was cute. It was like $5. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm just getting it. And it looks like shit on me like 99% of the time, but when I have faded purple hair, it weirdly works. I genuinely like it. So that's been nice because I thought this was a total loss until my hair was purple, and then I was like, oh, thank God. And then I use these all the time. These are the e.l.f., I think they're just the duo lipsticks. Maybe they're called Day to Night, but they have a dark one and a light version of each thing, and this is the nude one. And my very first video that I made, I was wearing this nude, and I like them both. Both colors are beautiful. I love brown lipstick. And those are the lips that I've been into. I really like the nudes and the purples with this hair. I think pinks and reds could be cool too, but I just, for some reason, just more drawn to the nudes and purples. I think because the hair itself was already kind of faded in a more neutral looking purple when I first did it, that's why I liked it with the nude colors. I think the brown and the purple complemented each other really well, or the peach and the purple would complement each other well. And then I could do something a little more wild on the eyes, and that's why I typically liked it. I like to follow that rule where, you know, you have like one thing most of the time. I don't always do this, but a lot of the time I like to follow the rule where you have one standout thing and then the other stuff is there to more support it, because I can very easily go overboard very easily. So I tend to try and edit myself with following that. All right, and then on the bottom, it is a mix of face products and eye products. Because the thing itself has so many weird compartments, the tiers don't really make a lot of sense. I tend to just lay them all out in front of me and then just, you know, pick here and there. This is something I got from TJ Maxx. I checked it and it did not appear to be open. I have never gotten pink eye from this one, so I rolled the dice. Anytime you buy something like this from TJ Maxx, you're rolling the dice because you never know if somebody really swatched it, but it didn't look like there were any fingerprints or anything on it, so the more I think about it, the more it freaks me out. But I've always been fine. The product itself is preserved, so it should be okay. But this is one of the Stila shiny eye things, and it's beautiful. I really enjoy it, and I forget that it exists, probably because I keep it in this tiny little spot and I don't think about it all the time, but it is beautiful and it lasts a really long time on my eyes. I just tend to not gravitate towards cream products most of the time. I bought this one on a whim, but I usually prefer powder stuff because it tends to last longer. In my experience, the cream products that I do have tend to get weird very quickly. So with this one, if I don't use it up in the next couple months, because this is probably coming up on like almost 10 months old, probably gonna get rid of it. And it appears that I've not even really used it that often, even though I really enjoy it. For some reason, I just don't reach for it that much. I splurged on this Kaja or Kaha. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say this because I don't know this brand, but it is this really cute 3-tiered eyeshadow from Sephora, and it has these pretty plummy colors. What is this one called? Glowing Guava. And I like all of them. They're really beautiful. It makes a really nice, subtle, like smoky eye that you would see on a lot of like monolids or and a lot of K-beauty. But it was pretty expensive, and I could probably recreate this with ColourPop cheaper. So I don't know if I would repurchase. I might repurchase this because I do like it. The thing about repurchase stuff is that by the time I actually get through these, I don't even know if this brand is going to exist anymore. Like, powder eyeshadow lasts so long, especially when you have as much of it as I do. I probably have enough like eyeshadow to last me the rest of my life, if I'm being realistic. These little ColourPop things, I love them. I splurge on them. I impulse buy these a lot when I go to Ulta, but I really shouldn't because they turn pretty quick. They get hard, they get weird, they don't give you as much payoff over time, and I need to just stop buying them. This one is in the shade Roji Biv, and it's beautiful. And I bought this during the summer, And I thought I would like it more with the purple hair. I don't love it. It just doesn't, I don't know, I just don't love it. I have to do a lot of work to make this. It's not like something I could just put on my eyes and then just walk away. I need to have a lot of supporting cast members to make it really into something either super special or something wearable, because it kind of rides that very strange line. It doesn't, for me, it just doesn't exist well on its own with the way that my hair is. If my hair was a really light color and I was going for more of like a bubbly bubblegum vibe, this would probably be easier to just like throw on and do a little something in the crease and be good. But that's not really my vibe right now. So it's harder to make it work, and it's in here because I'm just trying to use them before they go bad. This thing is from the e.l.f. kit that I got that eyeshadow brush in. It is pretty old, like maybe 4 years old. It's like one of those little sets that comes with like 3 duos. And this one is just like really good to throw in the makeup bag. It is a champagne shimmery color and then a warm taupey crease. That'll get you through the day almost any day. Like it's reliable and it works well. And I really like it. And half of the time that I'm wearing my highlight, it's just this eyeshadow that I put all over my face. Last is this thing that's always in here because I just really enjoy it. It's the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Jewel Pop eyeshadow. These colors they remind me a lot of Biba colors. If you watch Lisa Eldridge, you will know what that brand is. Kind of the bruised fruit colors or the jewel colors. Lisa Eldridge has 2 really cool Biba inspired makeup videos that I will link down below that I love, and you will see like how much inspiration I draw from some of those when I'm doing my like anxiety makeup, because I just love big washes of color. And so when I saw this one, I was just in love. The payoff isn't great, particularly with the blue and purple and the green, but if you're willing to work with it, I like it. If you can find something better that's not super expensive, let me know, because I really enjoy these types of colors. I find them really fun to play around with. And if there is an alternative, I want to know. I really, really want to know, because I'll start buying that instead of this. All right, and then what's left is just face stuff. The highlighters that I have currently are this e.l.f. Jelly Highlighter, which is extremely metallic and kind of hard to blend. And then I have this e.l.f. Powder Shadow or Powder Highlighter in Starlight Glow, which kind of looks like a Moonstone knockoff, a Becca Moonstone knockoff. I had Becca Moonstone and I loved it. I cherished it. And one day I dropped it and I was like, never again. I'm never paying $40 for something that is going to shatter like that when I drop it, because I drop shit all the time. So here's this e.l.f. one, and it's a lot more subtle in real life. Under the ring light, it tends to look really intense, and it's not like that in real life. This one though is pretty metallic in real life. This is the Super Shock Cheek color from ColourPop in the color Prenup, which is a really beautiful, subtle mauve. That's how I want to say it. That's how I've always said it. But then I started hearing people say mauve, and now I just don't know. This one I bought like 2 months ago, I think, and I'm already hitting pan on it. These do not last very long, but they're very easy to wear and build up, and I really enjoy them. This one I'm wearing today, it's by e.l.f. It's called Sparkling Rose. It's like that all over color. It creases like crazy in the eyes, like most of these emollient stick products would, but I really enjoy it on my cheeks. Don't particularly like it on my lips because it has glitter in it, and I don't like putting glitter on my lips because what you put on your lips sometimes gets ingested, and I don't like the idea of having little plastic particles inside me. But I just love these sort of deep berry color blushes. I've been looking for just a legit purple blush, and I could use a purple eyeshadow, but most of them are patchy or too pigmented to use as a blush. But I really have wanted like a really pretty purple blush. And then this one, okay, all right, I committed a skincare sin. I bought like 3 new products from The Ordinary, and then I put them all on at once, and I got this rash right here. Well, it was actually more like right here. I didn't tell anybody on YouTube about it, and I just put makeup over it. And I'll see if I can point out the videos, but there was a couple videos not that long ago where I was wearing very bright pink blush to kind of cover the rash, and it was this. I picked this up, it's like $2. It's called Bright Pink, and I actually really enjoy it, and the formula is really not bad. I have no problem using it. Okay, and then finally, I have this Cover FX setting powder in like the tiny little sample size. And I think it's worth the money. I really like it. I did purchase a different one from the drugstore to see if I could find something cheaper because this was kind of expensive for how small it is. But you don't have to use very much of it. So I have to say that I will probably be repurchasing this. I really like this one. It is in the shade Translucent Light. Finally, the foundation that I use is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and it is almost perfect. It is cheap. It is like kind of dewy, but not too dewy. It comes in I wouldn't say the greatest shade range, but it comes in an okay-ish shade range. The biggest gripe that I have with this product is that it has a fragrance in it, and thankfully it doesn't irritate my skin, but if you have sensitive skin, you should probably stay away from it because fragrance is pretty irritating. And it's not like this is an expensive fragrance. We're talking e.l.f. here. This is one of the few drugstore foundations that I can find that are lights and yellow. And this one is actually a bit light for me. But the next shade up is just kind of too dark and I end up looking like James Charles. So I stick with this one because I don't wear a very thick foundation. It tends to just kind of smooth things out, but I'm not looking for like perfect skin, so I don't put it on full coverage. So I'm hoping that I can get away with it because I really don't want to mix foundation. I don't like doing that extra step. It seems wasteful. The pump is very difficult to control for me anyway. It's hard to get out just like a teeny amount. So if I do mix with the one that's darker, I tend to have a shit ton of product left over. So yeah, this is the foundation that I use, and that is it for the makeup baskets. 42 minutes later, I got through my makeup basket. Wow. Okay, we are on the final stage of the makeup collection, and this one's a little chaotic. So I guess I'll get this out of the way. These are my tools that I don't really use that often, but I sometimes do. So I hold on to them. These ones did not get washed today because the things I don't care about get gross. This is the e.l.f. concealer brush. I don't use it for concealer. I use it to pack on shadow. This is a teeny tiny little pinpoint brush that I sometimes use for pimples or like super detailed work. This is the e.l.f. concealer brush, or the flawless concealer brush. Back when I was attempting to make brushes work, I like this one for concealer, but I prefer the sponge now. And this is the brush that I used to use for foundation, the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. It's just, a domed brush. And this is the Real Techniques setting brush, which I do like for setting, for highlight, for big washes of color in the eye. It is a really good multitasking brush. And then finally, I got this one at TJ Maxx. It's the Real Techniques. This is the one that they were trying to duplicate the squirrel hair. It's the powder blue. I don't know which one this is because there's no name on it. I think it is softer than a regular Real Technique brush, but I do not think it is as soft as a squirrel. So, and it was kind of expensive for what it is. It's beautiful. It's very soft. I like it for blush, but I do not use it very often because it is big and kind of bulky, and I just don't use it. I have this Shu thing that disappoints me every day. Oh yeah, and one more e.l.f. brush that's like the eyeshadow brush, because I just like things that I buy a lot of cheap eyeshadow. I like stuff that picks up a lot of shadow and pats it on. This you may remember from when I was Dr. Now in a reaction video. This is what I did my eyebrows with. It did not disappoint. It was like $1 from e.l.f. Don't really use it because I don't know, but I can't part with it because this is my Dr. Now brow pencil. So yeah, I'm sentimental about it. I also have this Tarte Shape Tape that I'm gonna use more when I go through my Pacifica one, but I bought a shade that is way too light, so I use it mostly when I'm wanting to try and be a beauty guru, I put it on my eyes to make a nice base. But yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to go through this. And once I go through my other concealer, I may purchase this one in the proper shade for under my eyes because I really liked it under my eyes. This is where I keep my Q-tips. I'm almost out. And then I have this little Sunbum SPF 30 lip chap. Okay, let's just do the lip products next. This is gonna be the most intense one because I have quite a few and they're really in no particular order. I should organize them, but over time when I use them, I just throw it back in. So anytime I attempt to organize these by shade, it just gets destroyed over time. Let's see if I can pull out all my oranges. At least we'll start with that. Orange lipstick is something I love, and it is something that I find to be kind of difficult to find one that really works for you. I have this Sephora Collection orange, which is a very yellow orange, and I really enjoy it. I think this is the one that I wore in the chicken video. I can't totally remember, but it's really nice. No, this is what I wore, I think, in the chicken video. It's the Wet n Wild Purdy Persimmon, and it is, it's pretty orange, but it leans a little bit. It's darker. It's darker than the Sephora one. The NYX Powder Puff Lippy. I do not like this. I will use it as long as I can, as long as it doesn't smell off. I will try to use it during summer. I tend to be able to pull orange off more during summer when my skin inevitably gets a little darker. I wear sunscreen every day, but you know, it's imperfect. It wears down over time, exposure to light, or you sweat it off or whatever, and I'm not going to reapply that stuff multiple times a day. That's just not realistic for me, so I tend to tan a little tiny bit, and I look a little bit better in the oranges then. This is actually not orange. I don't know why I pulled this out. This is one of these little e.l.f. It changes color to more of a pink. It's really beautiful actually, and I enjoy it. Super hydrating. This one is by Wet n Wild, and it is, I guess, more of like a peachy orange. It's very light, kind of hard to pull off with my skin tone. It tends to bring out the green in my skin, especially around my mouth. So I need to be really more diligent with the color correcting, or like, not color correcting, the concealer and the making sure that everything on the face is there to work the orange so that the orange doesn't. And then next, I guess we'll do more peachy colors. So this would probably fall more under like the peachy pinks. These only stand because they're all supporting each other. Once I start taking them out, they all start falling over. So I have this color from Mineral Fusion. It's actually really old and I don't wear it anymore, but I keep it as a reference because I really, really like it. It is, oh, it smells weird. It smells like Play-Doh. It's called Melon, and I will probably end up repurchasing this if I can't find a cheaper dupe. Is it sweating? That is weird. I don't wear this. Don't worry, I don't wear it. But it's beautiful. It's kind of sheer. It's very hydrating, and it is just like the perfect summer peach shade. I was surprised that I could find something that is like an orangey, peachy nude color that didn't make me look like a zombie, because typically the oranges pull the green out. Well, I watched one video by Lisa Eldridge talking about her new lipsticks, and the second that I saw that watermelon one, I went crazy. I went everywhere trying to find one. And this is the closest thing that I could find. I couldn't afford Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. This one is not a perfect match, but it is really, it's by Tarte. It's their, I don't know what the this is, but it's called Cha Cha, and it's like a hot pinky peachy color. It's not really a watermelon, but it is beautiful. Next I have, I guess we'll just go for the pinks at this point. Oh, this is more of a peachy one, or an orangey red. It's the other Lime Crime one that I got from TJ Maxx. And it is really, really bright. Very hard to, the formula wears nicely. It doesn't make my lips feel super dry, but I feel like it dries really quickly and it's hard for me to work with. The liquid cat suits, there's a little bit more time for me to take my brush and work it into the shape that I want. With this one, it's a little bit harder to do, but I do like it. Would I repurchase this one in the shade Suede Berry? I don't think so. It clashes a little too much with my skin. It is an incredibly beautiful color, and I think it would look really good on somebody who had like more of like a cool tone or a pink tone, or a deeper skin tone with more warmth to it. Or if you have like gray and green in your skin like I do, this one really brings that out, and it can be kind of annoying to work with, but it is, I mean, it is a really shockingly beautiful color. Okay, so pinks. Is this all of my pinks? So I got this from TJ Maxx. It is a Marc Jacobs Beauty gloss thing. Is there oh my god, the writing is so little. It's called Hot Hot Hot, or it's called Enamored. No, it's called Hot Hot Hot, and it's the Enamored High Shine Lip Lacquer. And I wore this a couple times when I first started my channel, and oh, it smells like mint, and it is really flattering. I got lots of compliments on it. It's really pretty, and it is the only like hot pink thing that I own, because pinks tend to bring out the green because they're opposites on the color wheel. So I don't wear a ton of pink, at least on the lips, because around my mouth is where I have the most green for some reason. I don't know why. The next shade that I have is Red Velvet by Wet n Wild. The cap is broken because this is a cheap piece of shit, but the color is beautiful and I love the formula. This one is a favorite of mine. It is it is a cool tone, hot pinky red, and I really, really love it. This color is by Wet n Wild, and it is called Pinkaholics, and it is more watermelon color, but not quite perfect, but pretty damn close. But God, it's so fun during the summer. So I have this set that I got from Lipstick Queen. It's the Sinner and Saint set. It comes with a little pencil liner, and this is in the mauve color. One of these is very sheer, one of them is opaque, but it is still a cream. And why do you look weird? You smell fine. These are really subtle colors, and they're beautiful, and I wear them pretty frequently, especially with the purple hair. They didn't really make it into the makeup basket, but they should have, because they do go well with the purple hair. And I think I'm gonna put them in there. They're so tiny that they get lost in here and I forget that they exist like half the time. This is another one of those e.l.f. color changing hydrating lip balms. This one comes out, it looks very, very dark, but it comes out like, if you give it a second, it's like I think this is one of those heat changing things, but it comes off like a purpley, it comes off like a plum. And then we have this color from Wet n Wild called Sugar Plum Fairy, and it is just your sort of vampy plum. It's really pretty. You can tell that I'm a big fan of this formula. I've been buying these lipsticks since I was like in middle school. All right, and next I can do, let's see. Wait, no, I forgot this one. This is another e.l.f. duo. This is the like berry one, and the pink in here is not a berry, but the deeper color is more of a berry, and it is beautiful. The pink is also super wearable. I don't usually wear pinks well. And then for reds, this is from Flower Beauty. It is the Rouge Berry creamy lip color. It's kind of like a bricky, pinky red. But just show you. It's this one right here. It's really beautiful. I really like Flower Beauty a lot. The problem with that is I want to buy their lipsticks, but almost every single one at Walmart has been fucked with, and it's beyond frustrating. Then I have this color from, you know what? Let's do this one first. This is another duo from e.l.f. And it's two reds. One of them is more of a brick, and one of them is more of a cool tone red, and it's slightly lighter than the other one. They are not matte. They do have some shine. But I really like them. I wouldn't say that they're super long wearing though, these e.l.f. ones. They're just your average cheap cream lipstick. They do need to be reapplied, especially if you eat. And then this one is from Wet n Wild. It's called Video Vixen. It's another one of the liquid cat suits. I really like this, but this one is one of those ones that you can't really feather out the lip line very well because the color changes so much and it tends to look really strange. So this is one of those ones where, because I love the color so much, I will wear it with a sharp line, but I'm not happy about it, but I love the color. If I wore something like this more, I would invest in a product that was perfect. I just buy the cheap version and I kind of put up with the fact that it's not perfect because I don't wear it very often. Then I have, I guess we're getting more into the nudes. This is kind of a rosy color. It is Behind the Bleachers by Wet n Wild. It is a red though, kind of. I mean, it dries down darker than it looks in the tube. But it's a faded, cool tone red. And then 2 more liquid cat suits. This one is in Rebel Rose, and this one is in Give Me Mocha. Give Me Mocha I wear all the time. I wear it a lot. It's a really nice brownie nude. And then this one is more of, you know, your faded purple nude that was really popular for a very long time. And I really like it. It's surprisingly wearable for being such a strange looking color in the tube. Then I have these NYX slip tees. This is called Low Key Decontraction. I don't even know that word. No, it's just called Low Key. Okay. And it is a lip oil. And it's a full color lip oil. It's got a weird, it doesn't feel like an oil. It's not super long wearing in my experience, but it is beautiful. I'm not somebody who, I don't care about reapplying. I'm fine with reapplying, so I don't really care if something is super long wearing. I just care, is it comfortable and is it pretty? This is a NYX Butter Gloss. I have 2 of these because I do like gloss from time to time. This one is in Tiramisu and this one is in Praline. And they're just both nudes. I can't really pull off a gloss in a lot of colors. I tend to pull them off in nudes better. This one shocked me. I was actually able to pull off such a bright gloss. Because usually with my lip shape being kind of weird, the shinier the lipstick, the more my lip shape stands out. And I can't really correct it with a gloss. So I don't usually love it. I tend to like more subtle stuff with the gloss because it just works better. These 2 colors are from Pacifica, and I actually love them. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I keep them for reference because I like them so much. This is from their Devotion line, and this one is called Natural Mystic. It's a really beautiful brown. And then this one is called Tenderness? Yeah, Tenderness. And it is another peachy nude, and these are both very beautiful, very wearable. I love them, but they are old and they smell kind of weird, so I just keep them for reference. And then Elf Praline is a classic. I've had this for, not this particular one, but I've been buying this for years. It is a very hard product. Like I said earlier with the pencils, it's the same kind of deal here. This is really hard because it's in this kind of tube and it needs to keep its shape to stay small and not get mushed. And so this one is, they're very dry. They're matte too, so they're very dry. And my battery is about to go out. I have one last thing. This one's a little weird. It's by a brand called Zuzu Luxe. I bought it in a Whole Foods once years ago. And it is a lip crayon in the color, the color's worn off. I think it's called Innocence, and it's just your basic nude. I'm looking for one like this that is not peachy, but just kind of like a pink brown. Let me know if you know any cheap ones that are like a perfect pink brown nude lip liner, because I need them for the cream lipsticks usually. It just helps to kind of cheat the lip shape back into something that's not so uneven. That is it. That's the lip products. We made it. We made it just before the camera died. I'm so happy. Okay, final camera battery. I have 3 of these motherfuckers and blown through 2 of them because I just cannot shut up when it comes to makeup. Eyes. Let's do eyes. Okay. I'll start with the palettes. This palette I got when I think it was like a couple months after I started YouTube. I really wanted to start doing more wild makeup, and then I fell out of that trend, but I want to get back into it. This is the Zulu by Juvia's Place, and I got it because it was kind of like that e.l.f. palette, but the pigmentation was better. It's not exactly the same, but it is really, really, really beautiful. I just have to figure out how to make it work for me because the colors, like the oranges and the red, I know, and this I could get with, but these 2 and this one are a little more challenging for me to make work on myself. So it'll be fun. I'll try and figure it out. This one is the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. I wore this a lot when my hair was orange and yellow, and it is really beautiful. I don't wear the glitters very often. They're kind of chunky and tend to have a lot of fallout. It would be nice to not have so much glitter in all of these ColourPop palettes because, you know, it's just more unnecessary plastic, but it is beautiful. So I don't know. I still buy them even though there's glitter. I just tend to not really use the glittery shades as much. And then finally I have this Makeup Revolution palette, the Soph Extra Spice one. I don't think they make this anymore. This is pretty much my favorite color selection. The problem though is that they form hard pan very easily, and you have to use your finger to get any sort of metallic look out of these shades because they are pretty poor quality. The mattes, on the other hand, very easy to use, and I use them a lot. I really like the selection of mattes in here. I wish that the shimmers were nicer because I genuinely love the selection of shimmer shades in here. I love every single one, and I will probably, once I finally am just like done with this palette, pick out something that is like this sort of matte satin taupe type color. This silver I really enjoy, and I love these sort of like olive green and these sort of like really, I mean, this shade is called Romance, and this just makes me think it's just such a romantic, shiny, pretty red. I would love to have nicer versions of these. But again, I'm one of those people that tries to use everything as much as I can before I get rid of it because I just don't want to be super wasteful with my makeup. And those are the palettes. I have 6 palettes total, which is quite a lot. I really don't need any new makeup. But there is one palette by Lime Crime, the like Venus 1 billion, that's like the olive greens, and every shade in it is so beautiful to me. But I just really can't justify it. I would have to get rid of something, and I don't know if I really want to get rid of something. This is another one of those Stila shades. This is more of a, it's just like a darker version. It's more taupey, more brown. This is a NARS shadow that I got from TJ Maxx. It's like a silvery purple color. I actually don't love it on me. It just makes me look old. Even though this is one of the prettiest colors I've ever seen, it looks really bad on me. I'm trying to figure out if I can make it work. Sometimes cool tones, particularly grayish cool tones, can really just age me, and I don't know why, because they look so good on so many people. I think maybe with some more eyeliner or something, I might be able to, if I go too low contrast with my looks, my face just tends to like disappear and look kind of weird. So I think maybe that might be the issue with these, is that they might just be too low contrast. I need to like pump it up in other ways to get them to stand out. Okay, so I have a bunch of ColourPop here. I have this one. The color is Moonwalk, and it is a bronze with a green shimmer. It's got a chameleon sort of feel to it. I don't know if they make something like this in a powder. I hope they do. I try to stay away from the ColourPop website because the whole FOMO, fast fashion thing just, ooh, it gets to me. And I just make bad decisions when I'm on that website. This one is 19F3. Oh, this is just 3. The number 3. And it is a brown with blue shift. Not necessarily like Max Club. It's not a warm brown. It's a cool brown. A faded brown with a blue shift. Okay, these, I hate this. I got this from Sephora. This is terrible. It's the shade Girl Talk. I really wanted something that was just a nice, pretty pinky champagne for the lid for like every day. And this is just a chunky, dry, glittery mess. It's just awful. I hold on to it out of spite because it was $8. This one, on the other hand, the colorful metal effect, or effect metal, is called Go Green, and it is actually really beautiful. It is kind of a cream shade. I'll show you here. I'll show you a better swatch. But it's one of those ones that's very dark and flashes green, and it's really pretty as like a liner. Okay, so these ones I actually got as a Christmas gift from my boyfriend. My hair was very green at the time, and I struggled to find green shadows that worked with it. This one is called Empire, and it's very pretty. This one, unfortunately, has already started drying. It's called Not Today. It's the Jelly Munch eyeshadow. It's one of the Disney villain ones, and it is really, really interesting color. Yeah, it's already starting, it dried up like in a month, and I can't get much color out of it, but it is really pretty. And then we have this color in, what are you? Gridlock, which is more of a teal. And this color called Hungry Ghost, which is like a, I'll swatch it for you. It's a glitter from ColourPop that is like, it's blue and yellow. And it is, I mean, it's very pretty. But again, the glitters, I find them very difficult to remove and they're chunky sometimes. So I don't wear them that often. But it is really, really beautiful. And that is it for the eyeshadows. I have this ColourPop green eyeliner. It's like an emerald. I really like it. And this, I don't know what this color is. It's like a really orangey brown. Oh, matte sienna. That's like perfect. And it's really pretty. Although sometimes I notice my eyes water more when I wear this, and I'm not sure if it's just coincidence or if it's actually this pencil. This color is beautiful though. I really love it. Oh, I also have this Wet n Wild eyeliner that's sort of like a cornflower blue. And it is really pretty. This is one of my favorite colors, and it is one of the colors I don't pull off very well, so it works kind of like better as a liner. It's not too over the top. This I got in the heat of the moment when I bought my mascara. I don't know who I was kidding. I was like, oh, maybe if I get a primer for my lashes, it'll work. Didn't, so I don't really use this very often. It's the Big Loud Lash Primer by NYX. I don't notice that much of a difference with it, so I don't really use it that often. And it's probably just, it was a waste. I should have done my research before I bought it. We'll do the blush next. So blush wise, I have this other e.l.f. one, really beautiful. It has gold flecks in it, and I don't know, it's kind of like, I guess, more like a bronzer color. I don't really have bronzers, and I wanted to experiment with something like that. I could see this being incredible on deep skin. It would just give this like warm golden glow. It can very easily overwhelm my skin tone. Just a hair in the air. So I don't wear it all the time, and when I do, I tend to pull it back farther because it is quite a bit darker than my skin tone, but it is very beautiful, and it does fade out. These Wet n Wild blushes are, I get compliments on these all of the time, and they are great. I really love them. I would recommend these two, especially this one. This one is definitely a lot more universal. This one is very orange, kind of light. So I could see it clashing with some skin tones, but if you are working, if you're really pushing a warm look, like with everything, with your lips, with your eyes, with even your hair, then this is easier to pull off, and it is fun because it is very peachy orange. I'm talking really peachy orange. It blends out into something a little bit more manageable. This one, on the other hand, is just sort of like a beautiful neutrally peach color, and oh god, I love it. I wish that they had one that was also like a pinky purpley cool tone one, but they don't. But these two are rock stars. I love them. I swear by these. And finally, I have one of my old favorites. This one itself is probably like 5 or 6 years old. I don't know if they even still make this. It is the e.l.f. Rich Rose. And because my skin has a lot of green in it, it does pretty well with neutrals. And this is it's pretty neutral. Like, it's kind of like a brown with a bit of a pink to it. And it has lasted forever. The thing about these blushes, I read a while ago, is that these packed ones, are the e.l.f. baked ones, is that they are packed on pretty tight to protect them while shipping. And if you take the top layer off, it's easier to pick up product. That's what I've heard, and I noticed that with my own. So I don't know if that's actually true. Could just be a coincidence, but it seems to be true. It seemed to have helped. And this is by that Zuzu Luxe brand, the one that used to be at Whole Foods. I don't think they're there anymore. I went to their website and I saw this and I thought it was really cool. It's called Chimera, Chimera, I think. Oh, my hand's dirty. But the color itself, I need to get a kind of a big swatch to show you the change in color, because it is got a warmer base and then sort of like a more pink. Oh, this is not going to show up well. I'll show you on my finger. It has a warmer base and a cool highlight. This is the color Natural by e.l.f. It is the step down in the shade, and this one is a bit too dark for me. I think I can get away with it if I like bring it down the neck and stuff, but which is what I'll do because I'm not going to waste it. Once my other one is used up, I'll try using this, and we're heading into summer, so I think I'll be able to pull it off. I'm hoping. If not, I'll just walk around looking like James Charles, and I mean, it works for him, so what do we have left here? This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. It's a little cakey. I am pissed that I have so much of this to go through before I get to buy another Cover FX one. Don't impulse purchase, people. I wouldn't recommend this one. I'm sure there's got to be something better at the drugstore than that. I also have the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I've used quite a bit of it. It doesn't seem to do anything at all for me. I heard all this stuff about this one breaking the internet, and Jeffree Star loves it, and everybody loves it, and I just don't see any difference at all. I've even done it on half my face and half not on my face. It just doesn't do much for me. Could be the skincare I use, maybe. So what's left is nails. Just nails left. Okay. My nails are very little cut. I cut my nails really low because I tend to when I get anxious, I tend to bite my nails. I really don't want to be biting my nails during a pandemic. So I've cut them really low, so they're at a point where it's like it hurts to bite them, so I don't bite them as much. And so I'm not doing a lot of nail polish because I don't really like the look of nail polish on tiny nails, at least on my hands. It just feels weird and wrong. But I do love nail polish, so I'll show you what I have. I have quite a few from Pacifica. I went through a sort of hippie phase last year, but I liked these colors, and I got this one on sale for like $3. It's the pink with like a silver reflect, and it's very pretty. This one is the one, I wore this in a video, my friend really liked it. It is called, I should have told you the shade name for this. Pink Crush. This one, where's the shade name? I don't see the shade name for this. Shit, I might have taken the tag off the bottom. I don't know why I would do that, but I did that apparently. This one is an orange with a like aqua reflect. It's really kind of green too. It's really beautiful. It's very sheer. And then this one is a black with a sort of, this is a matte. It's called Caveman. And it is black, but it's also got a little bit of purple and green. Focus on it. Focus on it. And it's really strange. It's really strange because it's matte, but it is cool because there's like just a little bit something there that has that sort of oil slick color, but it's matte. I got this when my hair was green. This is Essie's Off Tropic, and this was very difficult for me to use. It felt patchy, and the layers just, I don't know, I just didn't like this one this much. I have this one by Zoya. This orange one I wore a lot in the summer. I also have this, I guess, fleshy light nude from Zoya called, what is this called? This is called Chantal. And this one is called Paz. Really? Paz? Okay. And then the third one from Zoya I have is called, this one is called Bevan. Are they trolling me with these names? This one's really pretty. It's like a sagey, faded mint color. Then I have this Sally Hansen gold, like, but it's like a faded gold. It's got silver in there too. It's really pretty. Wore it during Christmas time. And then this one by Sally Hansen, it's just big gold glitter. Kind of multicolored too. Very festive. And I got this one because I am a Christmas bitch. So I got that one during Christmas time. I have not worn it since. And I have this Pacifica red color. It is a red. It's called Cinnamon Girl. It's beautiful. I really like it. I like cool tone reds on my fingernails. Just makes my hands look better. And finally, I have this, that is really weird. It separates into a green. Can you see that? That is so weird. This was really expensive. I bought it at Target. I fell in love with the color, and it's really awful. Really, really awful. It just takes forever to dry, and then if you do the second coat, it gets goo, like it's like gummy or glue-like. I just hate using this one, even though I adore the color. I've used the Zoya base coats. Right now I'm using the Sally Hansen Double Duty. That's a base coat and a top coat. It's probably bullshit, but I bought it, so I'm using it. And this performed awful on the Zoya, and it performs awful on the Sally Hansen. I really wanted this one to work because it is really pretty. It's like a very 90s color to me. And I think that's everything. I think that's all of it. 1 hour and 26 minutes is what I have on my audio right now. For those of you who wanted to see my makeup collection, there it is. I'm not really like a purist with stuff. If I like it and it works for me, then I buy it. I don't really need fancy labels. I have no problem buying something that's cheap. I have no problem buying something that's expensive too if I feel like it is really worth it. Yeah, that's my collection. It's pretty big. There's quite a bit. I have a lot of makeup, more than most people would need, but I really enjoy doing my makeup though. This is a very well-loved collection. I'm not one of those people that like just buys makeup to buy it and hold it. Like, I love using it too. For those of you who are curious what I wear, if you have like a similar skin tone to me, this is it. It's not really impressive. It's just what I pick up here and there. I don't really follow any beauty gurus because, again, I'm really susceptible to that kind of marketing. And I don't know what's hot, what's cool, what's trendy anymore. I just kind of go with what I like. I do look at Pinterest though for makeup ideas, so I do kind of see some trends there, but I also tend to look mostly at the runway makeup because that's just the most interesting to me. It's the most unique and creative. I really don't love the Instagram look, like the Kylie Jenner look is not my thing. I loved it when it first started, but it's been going on for so long that it's starting to feel dated now. It's just weird. As you get older, you watch makeup looks become dated and old. Like, I remember when having a smoky eye and a nude lip was like the coolest, trendiest shit, and that stuff looks so dated now. And so, you know, the halo eye and oh, my voice is giving out now. I've talked about this for so long that my voice is giving out. It's just, it's strange. It's a strange experience watching the trends come and go. And then seeing stuff reemerge from like my childhood becoming popular again. It's wild and I love it. I'm too poor to really participate in fashion as much as I would like to. But if I had endless money, I would wear a different thing every single day because I just love it so much. But yeah, that's everything. So much shit to put away. That's it, you guys. I have so much editing to do and I haven't even done this. Why did I put everything away? I have to swatch it. All right, I will see you guys later. If you stuck around this long, thank you. And I hope that you're all staying safe and that you're all okay and that this gave you some distraction for a while. If you have any recommendations for things you'd like me to do, some stuff I've been interested in doing that I kind of plan to do is talking about mental health stuff, like the DBT stuff that I've learned over the last year. And also I've been playing with the idea of doing some ASMR, not eating, of course, because that's nasty and should be illegal, but you know, like crumply things, or maybe talking softly, not whispering because I feel like a douche when I whisper, but just maybe soft talking and crinkling things. We'll see. I could also do an Animal Crossing video. I think I have figured out how to record from the Switch now, so that's cool. Let me know what you want to see. Because this channel is really just for fun, off-topic stuff and requests. But yeah, okay, those are just some ideas. Let me know if you're interested in any of those so I know which ones to do first. And thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.